let me clear the frequency, Jim. KC9 Victor, King Victor, KC9VKV, K1GZL. I don't want to lose the frequency here, so we're standing by, Jim. KC9 Victor, King Victor, K1GZL.
And good afternoon, everyone. This is KC9VKV, and this is the Qso-Vlog network. From now until 5, we are recording live. So if you have a radio, you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. We are recording, and then we'll place it up on YouTube in the next couple of days. And if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And on that page, we are running right now, I think, about 700 Qso-Vlogs. But the one that you'll be interested in probably will be on page 1, and it will be entitled My Group Air Check 9619. My Group Air Check 9619, which happens to be today's date. And that's when we call it what we do. It kind of makes things a lot easier. But anyway, also, if you have a radio that you need a little assistance in tuning up the audio for your transmit, we do that also. So we can accomplish a lot of things that you might be in need of. Just give us a shout. Right now, we're going to check and see if Charley-K1GZL is on frequency. Charlie?
GZL is on frequency. Charlie?
Yeah, we're here. Brandon, stand by a few minutes. We'll be with you there. Yes, I'm right here, Jim, and you're 9 to 9 plus direct. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Now, I'm going to flip over to my, well, let's see here. I'm not facing north directly. I'm going to pull my rotor around to 00 degrees, or maybe 25 degrees. That might be a little closer to where you are. All right, and now I'm going to flip over to my 10-foot loop antenna. So stand by just a moment.
Loop antenna. So stand by just.
And this is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor on the loop antenna. Charlie, do you notice much of a difference?
Antenna, Charlie, do you notice much of a difference?
Yeah, give it to me. We had a station come in at the same time. Yeah, stand by, Brandon. He's recording, and he'll just a couple minutes. Give it to me again on the loop antenna there, Jim. Go ahead.
All right, we're on the loop antenna right now. I just switched over to the loop, and we'll just see how today's faring with the loop antenna. All right, Charlie?
Faring with the loop antenna. All right, Charlie?
Okay, right now you're S9, and you were 10 over on the other one. I made a recording of them both. Here they are.
We can accomplish a lot of things that you might be in need of. We're going to check and see if Charlie, K1GZL...
I went back too far.
Charlie?
I went back too far. Wait a minute. I've got it here now.
Not facing north directly. I'm going to pull my rotor around to 00 degrees, so maybe 25 degrees. That might be a little closer to where you are. All right, and now I'm going to... All right, we're on the loop antenna right now. I just switched over to the loop, and we'll just see how today is faring with the loop antenna. All right, Charlie?
Okay, but you hear the difference, so go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, we're back on the, I think, and let me take a look here. This is not exactly the closest thing, this switch that I have to make between the dipole and the loop antenna. But right now we're on the loop, and we'll just stay on the loop here for a little while and see how things go. We finally got our rotor going. It was a rotor that we thought had bad gears in it, and at one time we had replaced it with another rotor, and almost tossed this rotor. But you know, there's something in the hoarding nature of me. I just can't seem to throw things away, so I set it aside for another day, and That day came when my rotor that I had on the 10-foot loop ceased to stay in sync. It kept wanting to wander around. Maybe something about the age of the rotor. Anyway, it would not stay in sync. And so I did revisit the old rotor that I thought had a problem, and I opened it up, and it turned out that it was just the motor mounts. The motor mounts had come loose and was not grabbing in the proper manner the next gear that it was supposed to drive. So I simply tightened the motor mount down, and well, it came to life, and that's what's running outside now. Roger, Roger.
That's what's running outside now. Roger, Roger.
And right now you're on the loop?
Correct. We're on the loop right now.
Correct. We're on the loop right now.
Well, boy, it's banging in here. My gosh, that thing is really working, Jim. Absolutely clear as a bell. You're only down 10 dB from your regular antenna. Go ahead.
Roger, well, I was supposed to be that up over my regular antenna. Now, I do have, I am running my red gold tuning capacitor, kilowatt tuning capacitor, red gold. It's red gold because I was in Kroger the other day, and I was walking down the aisle, and I was thinking, well, let's see here. There's some red gold tomatoes in a medium can. I think I'll grab that. And I went on down a few more steps, and I came to the cut green beans in a standard tin can, and I said, well, I'll get some of that too. And then on the way out, I found they had rubber placemats, so I got one of those too. And I come home and I ate the tomatoes, washed out the can, cut the green bean can open, and put the contents in a little container, and washed out the green bean can. And then I went out in the shop, and I put a wire, drilled a hole in the ends of both of those cans, put attached wires to both of those cans, took the little can, which had about an inch of space around it as it fit into the big can, and wrapped the little can with the strips of the placemat to hold it tight. Crammed it in the red gold can, went out, hooked it up, and lo and behold, I got a 1.5 with a 1 kW power, I guess about a 40 kVA ability. Roger? 40
kVA ability. Roger?
Wow. That was very good, Jim, on that. You really made it. Okay, I'm not going to hold on frequency is VA3 BEAKER London. He'd like to get a check with you there, Jim. But golly, you're doing wonderful. I think you said that was a 10-foot loop. 10-foot loop. My gosh, you know, you can get away with anything. Obviously, your radio location is good. By the way, Jan on her round-the-world sailboat should be arriving any time now in Vancouver, British Columbia. She did not have favorable winds yesterday to come in there, but she, as you know, turned 80, now 78 years old, about a month ago, 78 years old a month ago, and she is the oldest person ever to go single without stopping all the way around the world on a sailboat and make it back to Vancouver. So she can see the mountains of Washington State, but she has to get the right wind, and she's almost ready to dock. All she has to do is get a bit of a northwest wind, and then she goes, and boy, she'll be all over the news, and she deserves it. Okay, Jim, I won't hold it too long, but you might pick up VA3 BEAKER London. He is on frequency there. Real good. So congratulations, Jim. Congratulations. By the way, I might mention one thing, which is a little bit weird, but you realize that civilization probably is repeating itself, goes back so much further. You realize that the 6,000 years of recorded history is only 1/5,000 of 1% of Earth's history. K1GZL, hope you're copying.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I'm splitting my receiving between Rochester SDR and my local antenna. It's amazing how time passes by. I wouldn't even know that that was that much time passed by. But I guess that's what they say. Time passes in the blink of an eye. And sometimes that blink is eternity as you're waiting for something to go right or anticipating something going wrong. Anyway, three's up that way, Charlie. Thanks for the Qso. Always a pleasure. And you were like 10 over, 12 over around Rochester. And my local situation, I think you were about 6 over my local noise level. So great. And I hope your friend, it's amazing those sailboats have the ability, when they're tacking, they can tack into the wind. They can actually tack into the wind and go forward for the opposite way the wind's blowing. It's not real quick, but it does work, and they kind of have to zigzag a little bit to make it work. But it's just, sailing is just magnificent, and I hope that she gets all the accolades she deserves. A very brave woman sailing around the world. I'm not sure. Charlie, what did you say her age was?
78. 78 about a month ago.
78-year-old woman sailing around the world, and I might add, solo. So that's the amazing thing, and we applaud her very much. Thanks, Charlie. Three's that way, sir. You have a real good weekend, and we'll catch you next Friday. Hey, and by the way, I did catch you one early morning talking to Australia, and I had the loop up and running, and I could copy Australia also. Roger?
Oh, yeah, that's Ian. He has stacked and I've seen him 40 over 9 in here. 40 over 9. 40 over 9 in here. 40 over 9, like a ton of bricks, and he's trying to do very well. But that takes super conditions. You get a day with sporadic E in there where it almost cut off. The E layer just does not allow the signal to slowly get up to the F. But he was good this morning. He was 25 over 9. How are you copying myself? How was I coming in that morning you were listening, guys?
You were coming in at just about the same level he was, Roger.
Roger, understand. A lot of times we don't have stateside QSO very well, unless it's way out there. Other times it's like a ton of bricks. Okay, there, Jim, and we'll catch you next Friday. And I'll flip it right back over to you, Brandon, if you're still with us. KC9VKV, 2VA3 BEAKER, London, just east of Toronto, Canada, K1GZL. Not there at the moment. 73, Jim, catch you next Friday.
Roger, Charlie. Three's that way, sir. You have a real good afternoon. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And this afternoon, we are on our new 10-foot mag loop antenna, running a KW on our mag loop antenna, and our homemade tuning capacitor made out of tin cans. A medium-sized red gold tin can and a regular size cut green beans can crammed into each other. And normally there's about an inch of airspace around the two, but I also have a placemat, a rubber placemat that I cut up into strips and wrapped around the little can to hold it in place when I crammed it in the big can. And it's amazing, I just slide them in and out for tuning. And I was, the first time I tuned, I was, I think, on 8 megs, and it was just beautiful just to pull it right down on frequency. So, it is handling a KW of power. So this is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you've got a radio you want to check the audio, give me a shout. KC9VKV.